Welcome to the lecture of Analog Electronics. Myself Dr. Sandeep Garg, Associate Professor, Electronics and Communication, Oriental College of Technology, Bhopal. Today I am going to explain DC biasing and effect of temperature on bipolar junction transistor. This biasing refers to the application of the DC voltages at the input and output side of the transistor so that the output of the signal becomes undistorted due to variations in quiescent point. This Q point is the operating point of the device. It consists of two values. One is VCEQ and other is ICQ. This VCEQ is the collector to emitter voltage at this Q point, and this ICQ is the collector current at the quiescent point. Now here this collector current may vary due to variations in either this beta and either variation in the temperature. This beta is the current gain of the transistor. It is the ratio of collector current to base current for the common emitter configuration. Here in this case we are considering the common emitter configuration. So this collector current depends on two factors: the current gain of the transistor and the temperature. So the process of making this collector current independent of this beta and temperature is called stabilization. So stabilization is a process of making the collector current independent of the changes in either current gain or temperature. Now stabilization of the Q point is necessary due to the temperature dependence of the collector current, individual variations and thermal runaway. Now stabilization. First of all, we see how collector current depends on temperature and what is thermal runaway. The collector current IC of common emitter configuration is given by beta times of IB plus beta plus 1 times of ICBO. Here beta is the current gain and IB is the base current whose value is in microampere. Here ICBO is the leakage collector current due to the reverse bias collector junction. This ICBO is a strong function of temperature as it depends on the concentration of the minority carriers. With the increase in temperature, the concentration of these minority carrier goes on increasing. For every 10-degree rise in temperature, the number of these minority carriers become doubled. That's why this ICBO becomes double for every 10-degree rise in temperature. Now this increase in ICBO that will lead to the increase in heat produced within the transistor, and it will raise the temperature of the transistor. This process is cumulative and within a few seconds the transistor burns out. So this self-destruction of the transistor due to instability is called the thermal runaway. So we have to stabilize the transistor against the variations in this ICBO and this variation in beta and temperature. For this purpose, a factor is defined called the stability factor. Stability factor is defined as the rate of change of collector current with respect to rate of change of leakage collector current. So the value of this stability factor must be as low as possible. Lower is the value of this S, better is the stability of the transistor. The lowest value of this S can be 1. Now the stability factor, as we have defined, that it is the rate of change of collector current with the rate of change of ICBO, that is the leakage collector current. Now this value of IC can be calculated using this equation. IC is equals to beta IB plus beta plus 1 times of ICBO. Now we will differentiate this equation with respect to IC in order to obtain the expression of the stability factor S. So on differentiating this equation with respect to IC, we will obtain 1 is equals to beta times of DIB by DIC plus beta plus 1 times of DICBO by DIC. Now here from previous slide we can see that this DICBO by DIC can be replaced by 1 by S, where S is the stability factor. Now on rearranging this equation, we will obtain S as S is equals to beta plus 1 times upon 1 minus beta DIB by DIC. So in order to obtain this stability factor S, we have to calculate this DIB by DIC. Once we calculate this DIB by DIC and putting this value in this equation, we can obtain the expression for S. Now in order to stabilize the operating point or the Q point of the device, there are different biasing schemes. These are the fixed bias configuration, the collector to base bias configuration, the emitter to emitter bias configuration, and the voltage divider bias configuration. So using these different techniques, the stability factor can be stabilized. The first biasing technique that we use for stabilizing the operating point or the Q point is the fixed bias technique. In this technique, a single power source is used for biasing both the collector and the base side of the transistor. Here you can see that this base side and this collector side both are biased using the single voltage source VCC. Here these capacitors C1 and C2 are replaced by open circuit in this DC equivalent of this fixed bias circuit. Here these capacitors are replaced by open circuit because for DC sources or for DC input, this capacitor produces very high input impedance, so that can be replaced by open circuit here. So on applying the Kirchhoff voltage law on the input side of this configuration, we will obtain VCC minus IBRB minus VBE is equals to 0. So that IB becomes equals to VCC minus VBE upon RB. So here we can see that for fixed bias, this base current IB remains fixed due to the constant value of this VCC, VBE and RB. Here VBE is the base to emitter voltage and it is equal to 0.7 volt for silicon. Now here the collector current IC can be calculated as IC is equals to beta times of IB. Now we will put this value of IB in this equation. So here we can see that this IC becomes equals to beta VCC minus VBE upon RB. So in that case, in case of fixed bias, due to the fixed value of IB, this VCC minus VBE upon RB remains unchanged, but the collector current may vary due to variations in beta. Now here we will apply Kirchhoff voltage law on the output side also. Now applying Kirchhoff voltage law on this loop, we will obtain equation as VCC minus IC RC minus VC is equals to 0, so that VCE becomes equals to VCC minus IC RC. Now from these two equations, we will obtain the value of IC and VCE. These are the values at the quiescent point or the Q point of the BJT. Now in the case of fixed bias circuit, the advantage is that the value of the Q point or the operating point, that is the value of collector current IC, can be changed by merely changing the value of this base resistance RB. So this is one of the advantage, that merely changing this value of RB, the quiescent point can be moved within the active region. And the another advantage is that the circuit has very less number of components. It requires RB base resistance, RC collector resistance and a transistor, BJT transistor. So the number of components required in case of fixed bias circuit is very small. So these are the advantages, but the disadvantage of this circuit is that it provides a very poor stabilization. This is due to a high value of the stability factor obtained, S is equals to beta plus 1, because the ratio DIB by DIC becomes 0, because the base current IV remains constant, as we have seen in the previous slide. The DIB by DIC becomes 0, so that the stability factor becomes S is equals to beta plus 1 from the formula obtained for the stability factor. So here, since we know that the value of this beta is 50 to 60, so the high value of beta will cause the transistor to become unstable, and the transistor becomes, and the configuration becomes prone to thermal runaway. So this is the main disadvantage of the fixed bias circuit. However, this fixed bias circuit can be used as a switch for those where the transistor is used as a current source. Here the Q point is affected by the changes in the VB and ICBU in the case of fixed bias circuit. Now another configuration is the collector to base bias circuit. In this configuration, different voltages are applied on the base side as well as on the collector side. Here you can see that the base resistance RB is connected to the collector terminal, while in the case of fixed bias circuit, this base terminal is connected with the VCC directly. So here we are providing a negative feedback on the base side, so that this will cause a reduction in the current gain but provide stability to the transistor. So this configuration reduces the chances of the thermal runaway and stabilizes the operating point of the device by providing a negative feedback on the base side. Now in this form of biasing, the base resistance RB is connected to the collector terminal, and so in this way it will induce a voltage drop across this resistance RC due to a current flow of IC plus IB through this resistance. The drop becomes equals to RC into IC plus IB. Now here, applying KVL at the output side, we can obtain this equation VCC is equals to IC plus IB into RC plus VCE, and this VCE also becomes equals to IB RB plus VBE. Here we are, for obtaining this equation, we can see this loop of the device. So here in that case, rearranging these two equations, the expression for the base current can be obtained as VCC minus VBE upon RB plus 1 plus beta times of RC. Putting this value of IB in this formula, we can obtain the expression for IC as beta into VCC minus VBE upon RB plus 1 plus beta times of RC. Now the advantage of this collector to base bias circuit is that it provides better stability as compared to the fixed bias circuit due to the negative feedback applied on the base side. But the disadvantage is that due to the negative feedback, the gain of the amplifier will get reduced. This collector based bias circuit can be used for providing feedback so as to decrease the input impedance of the amplifier as seen from the base terminal. That can be advantageous in some of the circuits. Now due to the reduction in the gain of the device due to negative feedback, this biasing is used only when there is a trade-off for stability is warranted. Means in that case, the reduction in gain will not cause any significant effect on the performance of the device, while the stability of the device is greatly improved in that case. Now how the bias stability is improved in case of collector based bias? If IC becomes larger than the design value, then it can cause an increase in the voltage drop across RC. Hence, smaller value of VCE will cause IB to be smaller than its design value. And since IC becomes equals to beta IB, so this will tend to reduce its original value. So in this manner, this circuit provides stability to the circuit. Now for bias stabilization, this condition must be satisfied. As we know that the collector current IC for this particular biasing circuit is given by beta VCC minus VBE upon RB plus 1 plus beta times of RC. So for RB, value of RB much less than the value of beta RC. In that case, this RB can be neglected with respect to this beta RC, so that this RB becomes can be neglected. Also here, since beta is much greater than 1, so 1 can be neglected here, and here in the denominator this beta finally cancel out with this beta, so the expression for IC becomes equals to VCC minus VB upon RC. So here we can see that this IC becomes independent of beta. So this is one of the main advantage of the collector to base bias circuit. Now another configuration is the voltage divider bias circuit. Here this is the most widely used method as it provides highest stability as compared to the previous configurations. In this form of biasing, we use two resistances R1 and R2 in this manner. Here the voltage drop across R2 is applied to the base of the transistor. This voltage across this R2 is given by VB is equals to VCC into R2 upon R1 plus R2. Here this expression is obtained by ignoring the base current. Means we are considering that the base current IB becomes 0 in that case. So here this circuit provides more stability as compared to the previous circuits. Here a resistance RE is inserted in the emitter section that will provide the stability to the circuit. Here in case of voltage divider bias, the circuit consisting of the combination of R1 and R2 can be replaced by a Thevenin equivalent that consists of a voltage VTH given by VCC into R2 upon R1 plus R2 and a Thevenin resistance RTH, that is the parallel combination of resistances R1 and R2 becomes equals to R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. Now here we will apply Kirchhoff voltage law on the input side as well as the output side. On applying Kirchhoff voltage law at the input side, the equation obtained becomes VTH minus IB into RTH minus VB minus IE RE is equals to 0. Now this IE is equals to beta plus 1 times of IB. So we will replace this IE by beta plus 1 times so IB in this equation, and this becomes equals to 0. IB equals to VTH minus VB upon RTH plus beta plus 1 times of RE. So this is the expression for the base current obtained on applying the Kirchhoff voltage law on the input side. Now we will apply Kirchhoff voltage law at the output side. The equation becomes VCE means the voltage across this collector to emitter terminal. VCE is equals to VCC minus ICRC minus IERE, so that this VCE becomes equals to VCC minus ICRC minus IE is replaced by IB plus IC, because the emitter current is the sum of collector current and the base current. Now here the expression for the collector current can also be obtained as IC is equals to beta times of IB. The value of IB is replaced from this equation. Now here this expression becomes IC equals to beta VTH minus VB upon RTH plus beta plus 1 times of RE. Now in order to provide the stability to the circuit, this condition must be satisfied. That is, the Thevenin equivalent resistance must be much less than beta plus 1 times of RE. If this happens, then in that case this RTH can be neglected with respect to this beta plus 1 times of RE. So in that case, in the denominator again, since beta is much greater than 1, so this 1 can be neglected with respect to this beta, and finally this beta becomes cancelled out with the beta in the numerator, so that the expression of IC becomes equals to VTH minus VB upon RE. So you can see that here this collector current becomes independent of either beta or variation in the temperature. So this circuit provides very high stability as compared to the previous circuit. Now the stability factor for this voltage divider bias circuit can be calculated by this formula. S is equals to beta plus 1 minus beta dIV by DIC. This expression is already obtained in the previous slides. Now here the expression for VTH can be obtained as IB RTH minus VB minus IB plus IC into RE on applying Kirchhoff voltage law on the input side as discussed previously. Now here on differentiating this equation with respect to IC, it becomes 0 is equals to RTH dIB by DIC plus 1 plus dIB by DIC into RE. The differentiation of this constant terms becomes equals to 0. So from this equation, the expression for dIB by DIC becomes minus RE upon RTH plus RE. So the stability factor S becomes equals to beta plus 1. By putting this dIB by DIC in this equation, the expression becomes S is equals to beta plus 1 RTH plus RE upon RE into beta plus 1 plus RTH. Now rearranging this equation and dividing the numerator and denominator by RE, the expression becomes beta plus 1 plus RTH upon RE, beta plus 1 plus RTH upon RE. Now for stability, the value of S must be as small as possible. So for this purpose, this RTH upon RE is made as small as possible. For this purpose, the value of this RTH is reduced by either reducing the value of R1 or R2. So if we make this RTH upon RE very small, then in that case this RTH upon RE can be neglected with respect to this beta plus 1. So when this RTH upon RE is very small, it is neglected with respect to this beta plus 1, and finally this beta plus 1 gets cancelled out with respect to this beta plus 1. So the numerator becomes 1 plus RTH upon RE, and again this RTH upon RE is much smaller as compared to this one. So again this RTH upon RE is neglected. So finally we will obtain the value of S as approximately equals to 1. This is the lowest value of S. So by using this voltage divider bias configuration, the value of this stability factor can be reduced up to 1. So this stability factor is the best value of S. So using this voltage divider bias circuit, the stability factor S can be reduced to very low value. Thank you.